on towards 7:18 in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, although carnival festivities for February have been called off, there's still good news for the creative sector. An international chutney soca competition hosted by chutneymusic.com is seeking to help fill the void of cultural activities because of the impact of COVID-19. The Rani and Raja competition, probably an updated version of Nani and Nana competition of the 1970s, is also designed to strike a balance in the male-dominated genre. The deadline for submission is December the 19th, and here to tell us more about the concept, registration and rules of the competition, we're joined by event coordinator who is known as DJ Floops. That's Jason Sukram. I don't want to ask him why it's called DJ Floops, but anyway, we also have with us someone, I don't know if he has a DJ name himself, but we know him as Dr. Visham Bimal, who is the head judge for this competition. Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks very much for joining us. DJ Floops, tell us about the competition that is coming up.
Okay, so the chutneymusic.com Rani and Raja competition is an online international chutney soca. A little bit of the backdrop of why we choose to come out now. You know, with this COVID-19, there's a lot of despair in the creative space right now because artists, they cannot connect with their fans, their carnival being cancelled, the financial implications as well with no gigs. So after hearing all of these artists and them, I wouldn't say complaining about offering these opinions, I said, this is the time, myself and my team, we said, this is the time to come out with this competition because we had actually gotten this blueprint from since 2018, right? 2018. So we said we're going to come out now because we represent an international crowd. Everybody would think chutney music is like Trinidad, but we are representing South Africa, Guyana, people in North America, even the Dutch in the Netherlands, Europe. So that is why we came up with the competition at this point in time.
Okay, so let's get before we hear from the head judge on what we can anticipate as far as the judging of the competition itself. For anyone who would be interested in participating in this competition, what do they have to do?
Well, it's very simple. Many people send us music. Many of the potential contestants send us music. So you could send us it via email, chutneymusic, DOTCOM@gmail.com. Also, if you go onto our website, chutneymusic.com, there's a submit button where you can just drop box your 1-minute video for the preliminaries. It's that simple.
And the deadline is December the 19th, is that correct?
Yes, the tentative deadline is December the 19th. We have already gotten some submissions for the 1-minute video. And just to bring forward an important point, this is a 2-part competition. Rani and Raja, for the first time ever, a woman, a queen, like you were playing Drupati Ramgunai just now.
Yes.
A chutney soca queen will be crowned.
And you know, it's interesting. Let me bring in Dr. Bimal in that. Why is that, Dr. Bimal, that this genre has been so heavily male-dominated? I mean, we could argue that to a considerably lesser extent in the soca industry for a long time, or the calypso would have been male, but that has changed a long time ago, where now it's almost, whether it's 50-50 or more females than males in the soca side of things. Why has it been so male-dominated, Dr. Visham?
Right. The key thing to remember here is women's rights only actually came up within the last century. Feminism as well as equality of gender. So Jason and I always had conversations about it and saying that, well, the past or the archaic past is still relevant at the soca. And that's why we wanted to change the format as well as the rules to make it fair for both sexes to come on. And the thing is, what I want to say, my own personal opinion is, yes, there are a lot of males singing chutney soca out there, but when you listen to the songs that the women sing, sometimes they way over par compared to what the men sing. And because of that, that is underrepresented in competitions in the past, where chutney soca
So let's talk about Dr. Visham as to your role as a judge now, because what will be the parameters? Because one of the concerns as well with popular entertainment, not just locally or internationally, is what people say or what they don't say, and references to different individuals and different, the derogatory terms and so on. Give me your perspective as a judge as to how you'll be judging this competition.
Now, when Jason and I had a conversation prior in chutney sukha competitions, there was no clear definitions as to what is traditional chutney, what is chutney sukha. So in this competition, what we try to do through the rules is we try to create that categorization so that people will actually know what they enter into. Now, the entry is free. You're submitting, for the preliminary, you're submitting a 1-minute video of you who want to participate, singing your song, professionally recorded instrument with a professionally recorded instrument or a live background instrument. This is where the definition comes in. Now, English compositions are allowed, but what is chutney sukha without the Hindustani language? For you, I'd always emphasize that.
Sure.
So that there would be available bonus points for adequate utilization of Hindustani words within the context of what is being expressed in the song. One thing we lamented about in the past is that a lot of times artists in other chutney sukha competitions would just do a Bollywood song. They would just do a Bollywood song. And it's either a cover or remix or whatever it might be, and enter. We call it Bolini. Chutneymusic.com call it Bolini. In this, and we thought that's quite unfair, because you're not, as a true artist, putting out something new there, original, something that's creative, something that represents who we are here in Trinidad and the Caribbean. So there would be no Bollywood remixes or covers as entries. You would get bonus points for original lyrics. In other words, if the lyrics were never composed before and it's your original lyrics and melody, and the usage of a Bollywood melody would be allowed, but it would incur a 15-point penalty. Book songs are allowed. The tradition of chutney, soca, and local classical were actually from book songs, anthologies where artists would get lyrics from there and put a melody and sing it. The songs that have been performed in the past and recorded professionally would not be allowed in the competition.
All right, so that gives us a sense of what would be required from a judging point of view. Let's get back to event coordinator Jason Sukram, DJ Flupsa as well. What happens after December the 19th? When these submissions would have been received, what happens after that?
Okay, thank you. So we will upload all submissions, Rani and Raja, to our Facebook page. And people could get a part of the voice, could become a part of the voting, whereas they could interact with the videos. Now, the videos with the videos with the highest amount of interactions, they get an automatic ticket into the semi-final, which is January the 23rd. And similarly, we'll be running a Facebook poll because people want to vote and see their artists do well. And the winner of that poll also gets a ticket into the semi-final, where they would have to perform their full song live on TV. The judges will not be watching the actual performances like live, but the contestants will have to perform live via like a Zoom meeting. Only in the finals, which is February the 6th, the judges will be actually sitting through the actual performances.
Okay, so just so we understand it, after the December 19th deadline, it's semi-finals on January 23rd, and then to the finals on February the 6th. Are you concerned, though, Jason, that if you're going to go the way of Facebook followers and Facebook popularity, that it might actually be whichever entertainer is able to get most of his friends to like him, that he will get in, even though he ain't no good?
No, that is not a big concern, because that is only a small part. Only one ticket available out of the 24. Well, 2 tickets out of the 24 possible semi-finalists. Only 2 persons will be allowed through to the final through the Facebook route.
Okay, I'm glad you clarified it that way. And let me get a final comment from Dr. Visham before I come back to you, Jason, to remind everybody again what they have to do to register for this competition. Dr. Visham, because again, we are in the time of COVID-19 with all the different challenges. You are a medical professional yourself. You know about these challenges. But are you confident that the way this particular competition is shaping up, that it's achieving the objectives that you would have in your mind for an event like this?
Yeah, I would say not only for this competition, but internationally, realize we're all going online and we are achieving more. Definitely in this competition, as Jason said, unlike before where Chutney Soca were limited, only once we had an entry from the Netherlands. It was limited to Trinidadian performers. Now it's open to the entire world because of this online. And I think that's a huge deal. The other thing I want to add to this is now we're talking about the Hindustani language, we're talking about the art form. Trinidadians good at Chutney Soca, but they may not necessarily good at composition of lyrics, whereas other countries are. So now we're setting the bar a bit higher for our local artists here now to become original and creative.
All right. So Jason Sukram, just please tell us again, for those who would like to ensure that they get their entry in on time for the December the 19th beginning of the judging process, what do they have to do once again?
Okay. Before I go, I'd just like to say a lot of artists, you all complained about other forms, and we well know the shortcomings of other forms of competition. We have listened, we have mined the data, we have trended the data, and we came up with this offering. This is your time to have a fair say in a competition that is actually a competition. It is free, no barriers to entry. Any country, it could be from Nepal, Indonesia, whatever, and this is countries that actually on chutneymusic.com. Now is the time to come in, submit your 1 minute entry. It's very easy. Everyone has a phone, HD phone. Via chutneymusic.com, you can do it via email. You can even WhatsApp it. Well, we would prefer no WhatsApp, right? Email or go onto the website. There's a submit button right there. And now is the time to have your voice heard.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to give us an update on this competition. Again, meeting the requirements in the entertainment sector, at least one element of the entertainment sector in a time of COVID-19. Well, it's just around 7.